I'll start with an immediate, very short quote, and it's Srila Guru Maharaj saying, without Sadhu Sanga, we cannot connect with the higher level. Therefore, even chanting the name may not be Vaikuntha Nam. Then Srila Guru Maharaj quotes, Atar Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahayam indriyai sevam mukhehi jivado swayam evo sparatyadaha. From Sri Bhakti, found now in Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And then Srila Guru Maharaj says, so the universal necessity is to learn and acquire a serving attitude. And if that is applied to Nama Bhajan or any Bhajan, that will be of great help to you. So that very sentence at the very beginning, without Sadhu Sanga, we cannot connect with the higher level. So this is my little beginning to start us off, and we'll pass over the microphone to Devashis Prabhu. And
thank you, Maharaj.
Ratnavali has joined us from London too. We got lots of devotees from London. Happily, Jai, Ratnavali.
Yes, Maharaj, thank you. So I have chosen something to read by Srila Govinda Maharaj, but just, came across, maybe we've spoken about this before, but I came across a short article by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and the gist of it was who is a sadhu, so which is an important thing for us to understand, and what is sadhu sangha. And so he says in there that generally we think sadhu sangha means to associate with a saintly person, render service to them, give gifts to them, get their blessings and so on. He said, but all of that, although it's good, isn't really sadhu sangha. He said, what sadhu sangha is actually, what it means is that when we find a sadhu, when we're in the company of a sadhu, we are to mark what are their saintly qualities and try to imbibe those qualities into our own life. Try to emulate that sadhu ourselves, not imitate the sadhu or, make some show of being a sadhu, but genuinely try to gather those saintly qualities that we may see in the sadhu ourselves. And if we are able to do that, in other words, that means to transform ourselves into a sadhu, then that will actually qualify as real sadhu sangha. So I think when I read that, I thought, yeah, that's a very important point that we should try to understand. And so this article that I've chosen for this evening is actually from a very small booklet. I'm not even sure if, it's definitely out of print, but whether there's any copies of it available, or what it was called the Divine Message for the Devotees. And it was actually, we published it in London, and we didn't really publish it. It was actually made on a photocopier and cut and bound together. And I can't remember how many issues of that we made, but not very many. But it's in there. But it has been recorded elsewhere online. So the title of the article is Affection. So this is Srila Govinda Maharaj speaking to us. We need good association, then affection will grow. Otherwise, the fitness will not come for us to progress in the higher plane. First, a relationship will come through association, and when a relationship is formed, affection may come. It is first necessary to have a relationship with Guru and Vaishnava, the devotee of God. Otherwise, affection cannot be ours. Here, we must know that regard for Guru and Vaishnava is necessary before affection. Then progress will come to us. Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sanga to Bhajana Kriya Tato Nartonibriti Syat Tato Nista. Affection comes to us through Nista, then Ruchi. Divine relationship is always closely connected with Sadhu Sanga. Association with the saint or the pure devotee of God. But before that, Shraddha or faith is necessary. If faith is firm, then we can try to have a relationship with the sadhu, and through the association of the sadhu, learning to serve with devotion and becoming purified of evils in a higher plane, affection may come to us. But it is first necessary to go through 3 or 4 stages before affection. Still, it may come to some immediately. Affection is within everyone, and it can grow without any cause. Even in this mundane world, we can sometimes see that from the very first day of meeting people, from the very first day of meeting, people are very good friends. As soon as they see each other, affection comes immediately. So that is also possible in spiritual dealings. But before that, some sukriti, or good fortune, must work in the background. When practicing spiritual life, doing what we call sadhana, at that time it is necessary to have the association of the saintly devotees. Through that association, regard grows within, and hankering arises. Actually, hankering gives affection, but until we have real hankering for the divinity, it remains suppressed. After purification, firmness will come, and from that, ruchi, or taste for the divine, will come. And from ruchi, affectionate relationship begins. But all these things are attained through association of the saintly devotee. Without the association, divine serving activity is not possible. When one is not qualified, the proper serving may not be accomplished. In an unqualified way, one's mind may wander at random, thinking, this is perfect, that is perfect. But because one is living in the environment of illusion, it will not be real service. No doubt, by good fortune, it may be sometimes correct, but generally it will not go in the correct line, because the illusory environment will misguide us. Anor, Aniyan, Mahato, Mahyan. If we say that Brahman, the spirit, is very great, the idea of greatness means like the sky. Beyond the sky, we have no idea of greatness, but such knowledge will not act there. The transcendental world is completely separate and beyond this knowledge. So generally, we shall go the wrong way. This is why the proper association, Sadhu Sanga, is necessary. There are 2 kinds of Sadhu Sanga. When we have no person sadhu to associate with, the holy books will help us. But if we have the association of a good sadhu, we can attain the divine goal under his guidance directly. Not everyone will feel affection. Good fortune will work in the background. With strong good fortune, one can immediately cross over the next 3 stages after association with the sadhu. But this is possible in very special cases only. Our Guru Maharaj used the word affection, but it is necessary for us to know the line in which he did so. Affection is possible everywhere, even from the lowest level to the higher level. Somebody wants to feed others. That is also a kind of affection. He doesn't want to eat so much himself, but he would rather feed others, and this gives him pleasure. If anybody eats more at that time, the affection of the distributor immediately goes to that person. Another example is that even before a child is born, affection for the child grows in the mother's heart. When there is a firm relationship, affection may be established, and relationship will be firm through Sadhu Sanga. Everyone has a relationship with everyone, but feelings are manifest according to the relationship. Even if people may not know that they are relatives, by birthright, they have an automatic relationship within. Sometimes our Guru Maharaj would say that by Dharma Buddhi, a virtuous attitude, sense control is possible. At that time, a relationship with the higher will also come to us through that virtuous attitude. Affection for the higher will grow if we keep a virtuous attitude. I know that this medicine is bitter, but my tongue and senses do not want to accept it. But my intelligence will give me more than that. My intelligence can say, if you take this bitter thing, your health will be better. Then affection comes to us for the bitter medicine. In this way, we can try to have a proper relationship. In the Mahabharata, we are taught that when we are sufficiently eager to have a relationship, it can be established by a virtuous attitude. And that virtuous attitude is living with us. We may be living in the mundane world, the illusory environment, but virtuous attitude does not forsake us. Otherwise, we would live randomly, but we do not live at random. When someone is traveling opposite to my direction, there will be a crash, a clash or a crash, if I don't leave some room for him. So that is a virtuous attitude. When affection is not openly expressed, it is necessary to correct our vision. Then it will come. Sometimes during the time of Srila Guru Maharaj, he would insist on some plan of action according to his desire, but we could not understand his logic. And if we objected, he could not understand our idea either. Still, we followed Guru Maharaj's idea, virtuous attitude. And when the result came, we would think, oh, Guru Maharaj has done so much good for me. This happened many times. Sadhu Sanga, if we can follow it, it will give us relief from so many things. It will give a very good result in the future. But all depends on Shraddha, faith. Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sanga. First faith, then the saintly association is ours. And the translation of Shraddha is more than just faith. It is actually affectionate faith. Chanting the holy name is also like this. We are chanting Hare Krishna, and but are we really chanting, or are we just making and creating a completely material sound vibration? Srila Rupa Goswami has described this very nicely. Ata Sri Krishna Namadi Nabaved Grayam Indriyaha. How should we chant? Sevan Mukhehi Jivhado Swayam Eva Sparatyaja. He will reveal himself. When he is happy with us, he will feel, here is my dancing stage. If we properly prepare that stage, he will happily come to dance on our tongues. We cannot expect to catch the holy name with our mundane tongue. The holy name is transcendental, and we cannot catch it by the use of mundane senses. This is why Guru Maharaj gave much importance to service life. Seva is service. The attitude of service is necessary. And when we are firm in our service attitude, the stage will be automatically built in our bodies. So many say they are initiated. Have they got real initiation or not? In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, Diksha kale bhakta kare atma samarpana. Se kale Krishna tare kare atma sama. When one is initiated by a genuine guru, because the guru is non-different from Krishna, Krishna will take the full charge of the disciple. And when Krishna does that, nothing mundane can remain. Atma Sama means transcendental. Krishna makes him, the disciple, transcendental. When he surrenders to the Guru, Krishna makes him transcendental. Se deha kare tara chidanandamay. His form appears the same, but it is transformed to a transcendental form. We see this devotee seated here, but his form is transcendental. Se deha means that body takes a transcendental form. Then aprakrita dehe Krishna charana bhajaya. After that, the disciple does bhajan, divine service, and Krishna accepts his service. So where is the justification of all this? If everyone says it is all false, then will no one take initiation? But another part of Chaitanya Charitamrita explains to us that this is a certain stage of development. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavana Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai, Bhakti Lata Bij. Prem no hi bija pradam. The Guru takes the responsibility to give the seed of Krishna Prema, love of God. So we are not to be hopeless. Now, if we are given the seed, if we plant it properly, it will gradually become transcendental. This is the inner meaning. So we cannot be hopeless. The other day I said that we have got two very great gurus. One is Srila Swami Maharaj, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, and one is Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. So we have no doubt that we have also got the real seed. The seed is genuine. We see that all over the world, people are chanting Hare Krishna. It is a fact. Everyone knows now. Even in Russia, there also they know about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Also in Hungary. And this consciousness was given by Srila Swami Maharaj. And Srila Swami Maharaj considered Srila Guru Maharaj as his guru. So we have no doubt that we have not only got great guru, but we have two great gurus. They are Karnadara. They are our guardians. The guru is the captain of the ship. If we do not follow the orders of the captain, that is our defect, not his. So we should not try to plant that. So we should now try to plant that seed properly. That duty is called bhajana kriya, or proper performance of devotional duties and services. Through that, anartha nibriti, or purification, will automatically come. A sense-controlled person is free from mundane attachment. We are fortunate that we have seen many of such souls. But all credit is to my Guru. He can make a crow into a Garuda. No credit is mine. If I feel anything is to my credit, then I fall to the worst position. And such a sentiment must come from the heart, not just formally. If somebody wants to show I am a Vaishnava, so I must show my humility, that is not Vaishnavism. Humility will come from the heart. That is real humility. So that's the end of that. I thought that was a very beautiful article, beautiful talk by Srila Gurudev, very important for us to understand. So my contribution this evening, hope that's helpful for everyone. I know it must be helpful for everyone. No sound, Maharaj.
I put in the chat box, I put the PDF version of
Okay,
the book.
good.
It is there. And in the chat box, Scarlet Blom in Sweden, she's, as she does, sending very happily her obeisances and a funny obeisances lady figure, which I still haven't understood the purport of, but the purport is happy obeisances. Yes, this we understand. Today also, it's a day of Vaishnava's appearance and Vaishnava's disappearance. And this morning, we read the glorification of Srila Bhakti Swarup Parvat Maharaj, who passed away on this day. The glorification is by Srila Guru Maharaj. It was published in 1957 in the Sri Gaudiya Darshan, the magazine of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, in 1957 on 11th of March. So it's quite likely that it is that same year that he passed away, 1957. But here in Srila Guru Maharaj's description, we see the quality of a Vaishnava glorifying a Vaishnava. And on this point of Sadhu Sanga and appreciating the Vaishnavas, then I'll read for you the last paragraph. And for the translators, it's excerpt number 4 on, it's excerpt number 4 in the sheets that we have on the web. So I'll just read this. It is short, it's just one paragraph. And, yes, okay, once I found it. And so this is Srila Guru Maharaj saying about Sripad Parvat Maharaj, and means Sripad Parvat Maharaj is Guru Maharaj's godbrother. And he's giving an introduction earlier.
He was the devotee that was the next door neighbor of Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Yeah. All right. And oh yes, in the article, by the way, it says that on the 5th of February 1957, then he passed away. The Parvat Maharaj passed away. So it was 1957. Yes. All right. I'm going to go one paragraph before, actually. This is Srila Guru Maharaj, and it's so important. And Srila Guru Maharaj is saying, so the first paragraph before that one, in the face of hundreds and hundreds of troubles, obstacles, insults, and abuses, Sripad Parvat Maharaj never wavered even an iota in the fulfillment of his vow to fulfill the heartfelt desires of Sri Hari, Guru, and Vaishnava through the sacrifice of kirtan established by Sri Gaura. Moreover, he showed unlimited enthusiasm and established an ideal precedent. The gentlemen, plural, and ladies in attendance at the grand festival honoring his disappearance discussed how they could fulfill the desires of his heart, or discussed how they could fulfill the desires of his heart that remain unfulfilled, because he'd obviously expressed many things that he wanted to happen. And now the final paragraph. For the last 6 years, Sripad Parvat Maharaj has shown the world extraordinary pastimes. Although in a bedridden condition and silenced by rheumatism, he has earnestly engaged himself in the Lord's service. As supremely worshipful Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ignored so-called Vaishnavas who engaged in pseudo-devotion. So Parvat Maharaj, following him, resided far away from the association of deceitful persons wearing the garb of Vaishnavas, when he was unable in various ways to correct them. Because he was deeply learned in theology, the Siddhanta, the deceit and cunning of pseudo-devotees could never captivate him. He chose to associate only with pure Vaishnavas and showed great enthusiasm to preach to the public about the deceitfulness of non-devotees. In his life, we see the ideal of engaging all of one's energy, wealth, intelligence, and words in subduing the wicked and spreading divine love. There is no doubt that those who are inspired by his exemplary life of devotion and engage their body, words, and wealth in fulfilling the heartfelt desires of Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas will be able to attain the highest fortune of the soul. So this is the exemplary Vaishnava to Vaishnava interaction, recognition, glorification, praise, all those things which Vaishnavas are nourished by doing and nourished by hearing. Hare Krishna. So we have our London contingent here, and maybe Rasamoy Pandita. I don't know if you're free to speak. You had your video on before, just now your video is off, and the video is on. If you're free to speak on the subject, then we'll be very happy to hear from you.
Dandavad Maharaj, Dandavad Devashis Prabhu. I've just been happily hearing these beautiful talks and thinking about affectionate faith and what that means. And actually, I was going to ask yourself to kind of maybe talk a little bit more about this concept. How can we come closer to this place of affectionate faith? Cultivating faith in the Lord and these truths, and then also in a mood of affection. It's very beautiful and it's very inspiring, and it is something that I would love to hear more on.
And we all would too. So this question is directed to Devashis Prabhu, who read about affectionate faith.
Well, Maharaj, maybe it was directed for you, but what can we say? That this I noted with Srila Gurudev was always, you can say like the suffix to everything was affection. And we remember when we heard that some of his personal servitors, that they didn't always get on with each other, and one of the devotees told Maharaj, "Oh, this person who was also there, I'm trying so much to tolerate them, but I cannot tolerate them, and I'm trying." And Gurudev said, you must try. And then again, after some time, I tried so much, but I cannot tolerate. I tried everything, but I cannot tolerate them. And Gurudev said, "Oh, that is because you are not tolerating with affection." There's like affection being the key to everything, it seems. And I think, when Gurudev's speaking about this in that article, is not just that we feel affection for the Vaishnava, which of course is very important, but more important is that the Vaishnava might feel some affection for us. from our perspective, if you like, if we have that, if we have the affection of a Vaishnava, of a genuine Vaishnava, then it doesn't matter. Everything is perfect with that. And we see, I've noticed it myself, that there are some devotees, and maybe their behavior isn't always good, and maybe, there may be so many defects. But I noted that if those devotees had the affection of Srila Gurudev, that would, like, it just kind of like cancelled all of their defects, all of their shortcomings, even. And Gurudev didn't even see that in them. He only saw his affection to them, and that goes on forever. And I don't want to single anyone out, but I've seen certain devotees who we know that Gurudev had so much affection for them, and how they got that affection by at some point they did some actual service, some real service, maybe some sacrifice in their life that pleased Gurudev, and with that he showed his affection to them. And that was, like like Ramchandra with Vibhishana. When Vibhishana came, he's Ravan's brother, and he came to surrender to Ram, and everyone said, no, don't accept him. He's a spy. He's Ravan's brother. Come on, he's gonna, he's from the enemy camp. And Ram said, maybe that's true. All of what you say may be true, but he came and he bowed down and surrendered to me. Then I have to give him my protection for all time to come. So, this is like, it's a secret to progressing in spiritual life. If you can get the affection of a real, genuine Vaishnava, then you don't need anything else. You don't need anything else at all, because he takes his affectionate devotees wherever he goes. And, even if, may not be physically, but where he goes in the Adhoksaja world, those who he has affection for, they're not forgotten. They're also called for that, for service in that plane. I believe that. So then, so yes, Shraddha, Gurudev saying there, Shraddha doesn't just mean faith, but affectionate faith. So, that somebody asked me the other day, I was talking with a friend of mine from ISKCON, and he asked me, oh, so how long have you been, in charge in London? And I said, well, Gurudev gave me that service in 2000, the year 2000. So he said 25 years. He said, I don't think we've ever had a temple president in ISKCON that served for 25 years. He said, how do you manage it? How do you do it? And I said, well, because there's no one else really, that's why. And he said, well, no, it must be more than that. And I said, well, if I look at it, and because sometimes it's very difficult, and Gurudev himself would say that to me sometimes. His joke was, it's not hard, it's not easy being a temple president. And he would say, when he came after giving me that service, like maybe a year or so later, when he came back, he said, Prabhu, what happened to you? I said, what do you mean, Maharaj? He said, you were always so carefree and always with a big smile on your face, and now your face is all pinched and anxious all the time. I see it in your face. I said, I don't know, Maharaj, I don't know. He said, this is because you've taken this service. I said, well, maybe. But then I said to my friend, so if I have to analyze that, like why I'm still doing it, because, although everyone knows how unqualified I am, but if I analyze within myself, it's just that I don't want to let him down. That's what it comes down to, you know. I don't want Gurudev to be disappointed with me. So, you know, because I believe he was affectionate to me, and I feel, you know, that is the key to all our success in spiritual life. If we can get the affection of our guardians, the affection of our god brothers and god sisters, then we'll be okay. Affection is the key to everything. That's my thoughts on that anyway. Maybe you have some other thought, Maharaj, you can share with us.
Well, one thought did come up, because you did say not to name names or point out anybody, but we do know in our own selves, and many of us know some names and personalities who really were, you could say, naughty persons, but got Gurudev's affection. But we saw, but what I want to say is not to imitate. If we get affection from above, that is super pranadhana, treasure of the heart, to get that affection. But to imitate a devotee, they're doing that, and Gurudev's so affectionate with them, he hasn't rejected them. That doesn't mean that that's a license for everybody to do the same thing. And they do not know what's behind that, what is the cause of it. And Devashish, you mentioned that they've done something. Somehow they've done something which has drawn Gurudev's affection. And we have devotees who they have done and secretly and told to Gurudev, this I'm doing, but I don't want my name known like this. They're doing something and they're giving. Anyway, they're giving, they're doing something, but they don't want to get any name or fame from it. And so, and by Gurudev's grace, we know one or two of these cases, because Gurudev, he was very private, but he was also acknowledging in his private section, acknowledging the devotees and glorifying them. And Gurudev had that view: if anybody did anything in service, then Guru Maharaj, all the service is going to Guru Maharaj. And that is their eternal connection. They are on their way, and then Gurudev is going to give affectionate shelter, affectionate guidance, affectionate nourishment, affectionate forgiveness, or affectionate overlooking. And you know that Gurudev said about people's faults. He said that if they're sincere, Krishna will cure them. It's not my matter that I will cure everybody else. Krishna will cure them from within. My matter is to cure myself. And so this was Gurudev very much giving again the example as the Acharya, but he's giving the example of how to deal with others, the Vaishnavas, and how to deal with oneself. But he's showing his Leela, but he's showing it for us all. But by the way, very beautiful question, because one thing, we've got Devashish here, we've got devotees here who've been with Srila Gurudev, been with Srila Guru Maharaj, and sometimes we are also graced with devotees who've been with Srila Prabhupada also. And to know their nature is like very important, and we want to share their nature with everyone. And that's why we encourage to see the videos as well as to hear the audios, to catch something of Gurudev's, his mannerism, how he presented, how he talked. And sometimes when we read what Srila Gurudev is saying, it can sound like, quite a lecture, in the sense of really he knows the science and he's giving this Sanskrit expression, and leads to this, and very substantial philosophically. But it's all delivered. If you see Gurudev speaking those words, then you can also see how Gurudev, he's enlightening the devotees. He's not standing at a lecture board with a cane in his hand and discussing in this way, even though I have to say, sometimes when we're reading in Revealed Truth, some of the sections, it's like amazing. This came from Gurudev's mouth in
Yeah.
a ordinary conversation with the devotees or with a few devotees. And what comes from his mouth? It is Veda. It is Veda. And today, by the way, it's also Saraswati Puja, along with all sorts, along with all sorts of other things. It's a very auspicious day. It's Saraswati Puja. And Saraswati, she's the wife she's the wife of Narayan, the wife of Vishnu. And she, in the case of Keshava Kashmiri, then Keshava Kashmiri was her great devotee, and she very happy and pleased with him. But she was so pleased with him that she gave him proper learning. She arranged the appropriate way that he will know what is proper learning. And that proper learning is, and everybody here can say, because they heard Srila Gurudev in the temple room this evening, we were sitting with Gurudev and he was talking to us on the recording, which is there for everybody, in 2003, I think, on this day. And Srila Gurudev said that with the defeat of Keshava Kashmiri at the hands of, in the presence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then Saraswati, she revealed to Keshava Kashmiri who she is, who is Mahaprabhu, and what is Apara Gyan, Apara Ved, Apara, yes, anyway, Apara knowledge, upper knowledge as opposed to the material knowledge. And that is, she gave two things, and they were to chant the holy names and to serve the Vaishnavas. So on Saraswati Puja, we also have this theme of Sadhu Sanga.
Right.
And with that, she gave him to Mahaprabhu, and in this way. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, he went, Gurudev said, 4 in the morning, waking up from the dream, he immediately went to Mahaprabhu's house, knocked on the door. Mahaprabhu opened the door. And of course, we understood that Keshava Kashmiri knocked on the door and said, anybody home? And Mahaprabhu opened the door. And then he surrendered to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu, and then Mahaprabhu after this engaged Keshava Kashmiri in preaching, in being his mouthpiece to distribute Krishna consciousness far and wide. And Keshava Kashmiri, he immediately gave up all his worldly things, his elephants, his soldiers, his musicians, all the entourage. And we were reflecting on what kind of grand royal behavior used to take place in the past. Not many people go town to town with elephants and musicians and dancers and all sorts of huge entourage. And Ramananda Roy similarly. Ramananda Roy, he was the governor of that area in South India, Kovur, that district of Kovur. And he was a governor, I don't know the exact title, but like this, on behalf of the king. He wasn't the king, but on behalf of the king. And he had all the accoutrements. And when Mahaprabhu was coming back from South India and meeting him for the second time, their second extended meeting, then Mahaprabhu said, you come with me. I don't want to be separated from you for a moment. You please come with me. Come to Puri. And then Ramananda, he considered and he said, yes, Mahaprabhu, I accept your invitation, but I won't come with you because it will be very awkward for you and inappropriate to have so many musicians and drummers and elephants and horses and everything coming along with you to come to Puri. To come to Puri from Kovur, that area. And so you see the grandeur at that time. Anyhow, Saraswati Puja, bringing real knowledge to be the holy name, and Sadhu Sanga, the service of the devotees. And all those interactions in Chaitanya Charitamrita, you can see they're full of affection. tears, clasping each other, fainting on the ground, at Chaitan, unconscious, Chaitan conscious, and at Chaitan unconscious. I mean, so many times this happens, and it's not many times in our life that we are so affectionate with somebody, we actually become unconscious and crash down to the ground. And what kind of honest, genuine, unmotivated, unselfish affection is expressed page after page in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And we read today, Srila Guru Maharaj, that excerpt I read just a little bit before, Srila Guru Maharaj glorifying the Vaishnavas. And you can see Guru Maharaj's affectionate appreciation. And the whole mood there is affection, affection, affection. And we can come to our very good guidance. Of course, it's not for us to say good or not, because how can we say, but we know that this guidance of Rupa Goswami in Upadeshamritam, the 6 ways of increasing our loving relationship with the Lord, with the devotees, excuse me, our interaction, loving, priti, loving interaction with the devotees. Giving gifts, accepting gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, giving prasadam, accepting prasadam. It's not a list of so many things, or put the bill in the post or something like that. It's these simple dealings of living entities, of human beings one to another. And when that's done with the devotees, then we get increased loving relationship with the devotees. And Guru Maharaj said, and if these 6 items, they're done with the materialists, we'll get the qualities of the materialist. We'll get some intimate relationship with the materialists. So we want to use all of this tendency for affection to develop our affection with the devotees and not with the materialists. Otherwise, we'll be like the materialists and want the same things, have the same ambitions, and we'll be lost for the time being. And that time being could be a long, long time. Hare Krishna. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is full of affection, but today we did get one verse, I think it was only one verse, and sometimes there's one of these verses in there, which does, give us a little knock on the head. Yes, everything's full of affection, but there is a hell called Kumbhipaka. And so we don't want to make ourselves qualified for that place. So this verse came this morning. They slip in now and again. So just a reminder, we should do the right things. That is the absolute focus. But at the same time, we should remember, we shouldn't slip away, because slipping away can mean a very unfortunate time for us in the future. Yes, Panditadi, you were about to say, I interrupted.
No, Maharaj, I just was going to ask a small follow-up question to something you said earlier about devotees sort of doing some seva or offering something to Srila Gurudev, but not wanting the pratishta for it, or not wanting others to know. And I wanted to ask you if that was particularly pleasing to Srila Gurudev.
Yes, because really he saw genuine dedication. They're not doing it so they get a banner on the wall. They're doing it, they just want to do. I know how 1 or 2 of these happened, and they didn't want it to be known because of their own reasons. So it may be not exactly no pratishta, but not to get into trouble. But still, they did this service. And there was a time, and we know that time, when in the temple, there was very little money. So when we're talking about service also, at the time when there was basically what they say, hand to mouth, when somebody lives, they have nothing at the end of the day, next day, they go out, they get a little money, and then they feed themselves. I think the expression is they live hand to mouth. Yeah. So for a while, when we are in Chaitanya Saraswat Math, it was very like that. It was very poor, and any funds that came, they were very treasured and used very carefully. And there are devotees who gave funds, and may not be a large amount of funds, but gave funds at a critical time. And so it was very valuable. And Gurudev never forgot that. And he would always give that appreciation. But Gurudev also, you can say, in his time, who is rendering service to Gurudev to help him in his service to Guru Maharaj, he sees that this is service to Guru Maharaj, not service me. Oh, they are helping me so much. They're rendering service to Guru Maharaj, and we are, doing that service together. Gurudev is doing things there, but it's with that energy that is coming from the devotees. So what service is coming to Gurudev, that is seva to Guru Maharaj in his clear vision. And this example that I do give, and was very direct, we were right there, and in the temple where Srila Guru Maharaj very strongly expressed about Chaitanya Saraswat Math. He said, this is the mat of my Guru Maharaj. This is my Guru Maharaj's temple. He never saw it as his temple. And Gurudev also, this very similar example. And so this connection, it is an eternal connection, and it is the connection of appreciation and affection and all of these things. And appreciation has affection all gathered with it, because Guru Maharaj also, everybody maybe knows, he didn't like the expression thank you. If you give something, oh, thank you, in the sense of, he would say that it's like separate interest, or thank you, you are, I have my interest, you have your interest, and my interest is satisfied by that. But we know Gurudev did say thank you. And Gurudev, he said, but I don't have any other words to express. So we also try to get around it by saying appreciation or gratitude. But the idea is that it's not a separate interest matter. We are very happy. And a team, a football team, I mean, I don't know anything about football, but this whole idea of a team, the team is happy when anyone is giving their might and giving their attention. And whether it's a defender or the attacker or whatever, the goalkeeper, whatever it may be. And so there's that bond. There should be, who knows, bond may be money these days. I don't follow football at all. But I mean, the idea of a team, then Gurudev is seeing that he's not alone in service to Guru Maharaj, that others, their energy is doing this. Not only energy in the form of funds, which came to manifest so many wonderful temples in India, but in the form of the preaching and so many activities to maintain the temples and to spread the message of Mahaprabhu in the line of Guru Maharaj. And under the umbrella of Guru Maharaj, Gurudev would say. And just now we heard from Devashis, didn't we? Or was it in the temple room? Ooh, not sure. Anyway, because we came from the temple room, how Gurudev was saying about how, and we have two great gurus. But now we clearly say we have three great gurus. And he was referring to Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. Yes. We have three great gurus. We've got Srila Gurudev. So Gurudev was referring to Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, yes. But we can say, truthfully, we have three great gurus, Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada. And their affectionate embrace of the world's sincere population is genuine, infinite, and most valuable. And Sadhu Sanga means associating with the good devotees. And we saw about Shripad Parvat Maharaj, the glorification of Guru Maharaj, that he tried his best, but still had so many opposition, so many things. But then when he can't change something, then he kept his distance from those that are continuing in the non-correct way, deceitful ways. I think that word he was being used. But the affection everybody had for Parvat Maharaj, that the genuine Krishna consciousness, it is so wonderful and pure. And the genuine devotees, how they are glorifying each other, and also with their eyes open, keeping clear from the danger areas, what's not being, where the message of the masters is not being presented properly, but in other ways, this and that, the other is going on. And then the glorification, though, of those who are following that line, and the mood of Guru Maharaj's description of the devotees, in this case Parvat Maharaj, but again and again we have his description of the Vaishnavas. The affectionate appreciation. And what is service? To get the service is to serve the Vaishnavas and to get the grace of the upper Vaishnavas. This is all in our lives. I know, okay, oh yes, we are over time. I'm not sure if oh yes, a very short quote here. And it's from Sermons Volume 3. And it's a question and answer, just like we're having here a little bit. Devotee, what is the most direct and effective means to attain a taste of Krishna consciousness? Okay? And this is number 3, excerpt 3 for the translators. What is the most direct and effective means to attain a taste of Krishna consciousness? Then Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj replies with the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Satang prasangan mama veja sangviro bhavanti hritkarna rasayanaha kataha tajjashonad ashva pavarga vatmani shradharati bhakti anukramishyati, which some of you know immediately offhand. So the translation of that is, one will rapidly progress on the path of liberation and naturally will develop firm faith, attraction, and devotion when he cultivates the activity of engaging in discussions about my glorious pastimes in the association of pure devotees. Such activities are very nourishing to the ear and heart. And then just a tiny quote more from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya-lila, Krishna Bhakti Janma Mula Hoya Sadhu Sanga. Krishna Prema Janme Teho Punna Mukhya Anga. By associating with the sadhus and gaining their mercy, one can get Krishna Bhakti, right up to the stage of Krishna Prema. Furthermore, the practitioner's very life depends on the association of sadhus. Without sadhu sanga, it is not possible to receive the real seeds of bhakti. And there is more, but I won't read more because we're over time. But this emphasis on the absolute necessity of sadhu sanga everywhere, but that emphasis on affection and Krishna Prema. What's Krishna Prema? It's not a mechanical thing. That is affection turbocharged, whatever we want to say. Love turbocharged. I think Devashis Prabhu was meant to be answering all of that, but what happened? How did I end up with a microphone? Devashis Prabhu.
Yes, Maharaj. So next week will be Nityananda Prabhu's parents' day, next Monday.
The day before, I think it's the day before, if I'm not mistaken, Prabhu. But yes, that time.
I'm pretty sure it's Monday, 10th, isn't it?
Okay. And today is the 3rd.
Yeah.
7 plus 3 equals 10. Okay, got it. I also thought it's the 10th, but I was thinking 10th was Tuesday. Okay.
And you'll be with us in London then.
By the grace of the Lord, and if you allow me to be there, yes. And the grace of British Airways. We're flying British Airways to Britain.
Very good.
So we look forward to being there for so it is next Monday. Why was I thinking it's Tuesday? Good question. Anyhow, it's next Monday, so we can understand Devashis who may have the theme, something about Nityananda, and we'll be very
yes, but I'm also thinking I may not be able, I'm very busy on those days, so whether I'll be able to get the time to do the Zoom.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll work it out. We'll work
it out indeed.
Okay, so yes, a little bit over time, but no one worries about that. So we're all very grateful, Maharaj, to have your association always. And happy to see all the Vaishnavas coming together like this. So, can say, Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Bhagavan Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. And Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Brinda Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. All the world devotees Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Wo.
Shripat Devashis Prabhu Ki Jai, and all the assembled devotees Ki Jai. And by the way, we're just looking through all the names on the screen. So happy to see so many devotees. I would like to call out one or two in particular because we don't always see you. But if I do that, I have to call out everybody's name along the way. But very happy to have your presence here. Sundar Krishna also. And okay, I better not start listing them all. But happily, and Scarlett, she sent you. Thank you so very much for this Zoom class, Haribol. So your appreciation is appreciated, of course. And thank you all. Without the association of all the devotees, how can we have a Zoom gathering? We've got so many beautiful devotees here. And Ajay Krishna also popped a head around the corner. Jai Nitai. Vanchakalpa Turubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. All best wishes, and see you in London in person, in body, as it were, very soon.
Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath,